Hey everyone, join us for this week's episode of the DevOps Lab, where myself and Dan Barr are going to talk about dynamic provider credentialing with Terraform Cloud into Azure. So tune in because you don't want to miss this one. Hello everyone, and welcome to the DevOps Lab. We have with us again today a returning guest, Dan Barr. Dan, welcome.
Hey April, thanks for having me back.
I'm really excited to have you back on the show. We've talked about some really cool stuff with Hashi and Terraform before, and today we're going to talk about authentication and some new features that you guys have put out.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a pretty awesome new feature in Terraform Cloud. It's called Dynamic Provider Credentials, and really going to help you improve how Terraform authenticates to Azure and other providers.
Awesome. I think when I've deployed my Terraform, I've always had authentication issues when a password's timed out, or you've had a leaver in the organization, or you just can't access their credentials, which has caused a lot of issues with static credentials. So I think you're going to walk us through how we used to do things and how we're going to do them going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can start with kind of how we used to do things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So typically, obviously a Terraform run needs to authenticate to Azure, right, to do things.
Yep.
And so the way we've typically done that, and I've got that here in a workspace here in Terraform Cloud, would be to provide a static credential, usually a service principal, right, a client ID and a client secret that we would configure here as environment variables typically, or as a variable set. So in this case, I have a variable set of some shared credentials that I would use across multiple Terraform Cloud workspaces. The thing with that, obviously, is I'm reusing those credentials,
Mm-hmm.
right? Terraform Cloud is storing them securely, right? They are sensitive credentials. We are handling them securely, but how did they get there in the first place? Were they copy pasted through a developer's laptop? Did they maybe get saved to a file? So, there's still that time of exposure by the time they're, between when they're created and when you put them in here into Terraform Cloud.
Absolutely. That still adds risk to the organization.
Absolutely. Yeah. And operational too, right? Because when it does come time to rotate these, and hopefully you are rotating your credentials, you've got to then track down everywhere they're used. Hopefully you have an up-to-date inventory of everywhere that particular client secret was used. And you still may, have some downstream effects when you go ahead and revoke that old one if you missed somewhere it was being used.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of operational overhead, a lot of risk. These tend to be very long-lived, right? Again, we're probably not rotating those credentials weekly, certainly not daily. A lot of times they end up living for a long time.
And I think we've seen some organizations recently that have had breaches where their passwords and credentials have not been rotated very frequently. Mm-hmm. So that becomes another policy, another thing you have to put in place. But we can do it a new, better, and greater way now.
That's right. Yeah. So what we've done is we've taken Terraform Cloud and turned it into an OIDC identity provider. And so now, instead of using these static secrets, we can actually have Terraform Cloud generate what we call a workload identity token, and generate this token just for that specific Terraform run and get a new set of short-lived credentials every single time.
Right. So every time we hit Terraform apply effectively, or we run our Terraform scripts, we're generating new credentials. So that's just going to generate at the time of and then expire when the run ends.
The run is done. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So no more rotation, no more exposure. Even if it is exposed, it's short-lived. So the exposure time is much, much shorter. Mm-hmm. And also it gives us some opportunity to do a little more specific targeting of those credentials, because we can not only target each run, we can actually target the different phases of the run. So we could say have a read-only role applied to the plan phase, mm-hmm. and then the read-write role applied to the apply phase.
Awesome. So it's gotten a lot more granular, mm-hmm. lowers the attack surface massively, and takes all those risks away. That's really cool.
Yeah. So let's see how we actually do that. I'm going to start here. The first thing we've got to do is bootstrap that trust between Terraform Cloud and Azure. So the way we do that is we create an Azure AD managed application, an associated service principal, and then create federated identity credentials within that service credential or service principal. And so we've got some sample code out there. We have a tutorial also that has all this sample code in it to show you how to do this and how to bootstrap that initial trust. And then once it's set up, it's super, super easy to actually use it from Terraform Cloud.
Cool.
So
And
this
we'll get all
Terraform,
that code shared out for everyone watching today as well.
absolutely, yeah. This is I took this code right from our tutorial. So the only thing I had to customize here was a little to get around some restrictions in our own Azure environment. I had to add the specific owners there, but otherwise this code comes straight from the tutorial. So I didn't have to write this myself.
Cool.
And what this does when we run this is it will generate that Azure AD application and give us the ID of that application, which we'll use on the Terraform Cloud side. And this should just take a second here. Okay, so now we have our run client ID here. I'll copy that into my clipboard. We can also see the claims that it generated here. So this is how we end up authenticating. You can see we have a separate claim here for the plan and apply phase. Now, what I've done here is I've just gone ahead and applied the same role to both of them. But if you wanted to split the role across two different federated credentials, you could do that too. But just for simplicity, I'm using the same contributor role for both. But you can see here we have this scoped down to our organization, which is our Terraform Cloud organization, to the project, which is another newish feature in Terraform Cloud, which lets us organize our workspaces and group them together, and then the specific workspace name. So this makes sure that that credential can only be used for this workspace, in this project, in this Terraform Cloud organization.
Awesome. That's super granular. That's really good to see.
Yeah. So now that we have that ID, let's actually go see how we apply it. So in this workspace, I have a few environment variables again. We still need our subscription ID and tenant ID, right? We're always going to need that to tell the provider where in Azure to talk to. But now instead of a client ID and a client secret, instead I have these two new environment variables. TFC Azure Provider Auth set to true simply turns on the feature. So that tells Terraform Cloud that we're going to use the dynamic provider credentials for the Azure provider. We also support Vault with this, right, too. So if you're using our HashiCorp Vault for some of your static secrets, maybe database passwords, SSH keys, certs, well, you need to authenticate your Terraform run to Vault as well. We did the same thing with Vault, so you can also support Vault with this workflow.
Awesome.
And you can combine them. We could have both Vault and Azure talking to the same workspace. So we have our true setting to turn the feature on, and then we only need the client ID here. And that's that same client ID I just got from the bootstrap process.
Yeah, that it exported out. And you can use that to trace your runs, can't you, as well, to give your full traceability end to end on your deployment methodologies?
Yeah, absolutely. So now if we start our run, it will just work. So what's happening here is actually, so Terraform Cloud is going to generate that workload identity token specific to each phase of the run. So it'll generate a token for the plan phase. It'll generate a token for the apply phase when we get there. And then it's going to send that to the Azure OIDC endpoint, right? So along with the subscription ID and the tenant ID, and to match it up to that application, federated application client. Azure then calls back to Terraform Cloud to grab the OIDC metadata. And this is all industry standard OIDC, right? This is nothing, no special sauce here, right? This is all standards based. Azure will call back to Terraform to verify that token. It'll decode the token. If everything's good, it'll respond with a temporary credential that Terraform Cloud then will use in the run.
Cool.
So there we go. I had no static credentials there, no secret to deal with, no nothing, just that client ID and turning on the feature, and we've gotten our finished plan.
I love that we can run separate credentials for the plan and the apply phases, especially when plan we can do what you said was the read-only credentials, correct? And then that minimizes that, because we talk about least amount of privileges when it comes to authentication and identity management. So that absolutely ticks all the boxes, lowers that attack surface. That's really cool. I love that you can do it in each phase. Yeah,
you can get super granular with it down to not only the workspace, but also that actual phase. And yeah, like you said, do read only on the plan and do the very least privilege you need for the apply phase.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's basically it, right? So it's really improves how we interact with this. Again, we don't need developers handling credentials through the laptop, which we've seen also recently. The laptop might be compromised
Mhm.
and a point of egress for those keys. So if we don't even have to handle them at all, and they just live a few minutes, right? The duration of the plan or the apply, that's kind of a pretty huge improvement.
Absolutely. And I think when you talk about breaches and the cloud, it's always down to us as humans putting a password somewhere where we shouldn't, a plain text file, developer machines, etc. And with people working remotely, being really anywhere in the world, in any environment, what you put on your machine is even more critical than it used to be because we're not all working from offices, right?
Yeah.
So, Dan, that's awesome. Really excited to see all the new features, how granular it is, lowering that attack service. Really, really cool to see that come out with Terraform Cloud. So thank you again for joining us on the DevOps Lab.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and see you next time.